Okay, let's get this shit show on the road. Yeah, this is a really great game, but so I'm gonna let the intro play out a few times so people know what they're getting into. Uh, the intro for this game has it was also the initial trailer for it. The initial trailer sounded a lot better. The voice acting in this is among the worst of any game. Maybe Arc Rise Fantasia or was that Chaos Wars are worse, but not by that much. It's a really great game. It's just this voice acting is genuinely terrible.
A long, long time ago it was, before people began to dwell in the sky. A terrible war was waged between us humans and the wicked god. After the horrendous battle, our ancestors entombed the wicked god and left the polluted and barren earth to find a future in the sky.
Specifically, a line read by Liu, which is just fucking awful.
In this world, there are things that people mustn't touch. Who cares?
Not that anyone's that much better.
The god of demise and destruction, the cursed power of Malpertio.
The Eth Magnus? Never heard of that before.
That's actually the best line read of the game.
Damn! The bastards!
That's just Waka.
It's unthinkable to act against the Empire?
That's.
I've been waiting.
Kill him. If left alone, he will prove a threat to my Empire.
Let us trust the young. One more. Who hold the spirit within them.
The struggle alone will fill a great emptiness within and ease your pain.
I should note I don't remember anything about this game, honestly. I remember the big twist.
What do you know?
Come on, Kibari! Move it!
Go away!
Our only
Hey, thanks, Applejack, for the follow.
Awaken! Ancient god of destruction!
be what you always dreamed to be.
Okay, let's play this thing. Because I'm kind of curious to get back into it.
Someday you will know who you really are.
That spirit seems to like you. If you could bond with it, something wonderful may happen to you. Are you ready?
Let's see. You're gonna notice that audio kind of has a tinny quality to it. That is. I want to say it's on purpose, but to be honest, I don't actually know. If you wanted to find a story justification for it, you could.
Hello? May I ask your name?
But considering the rest of the quality of the voice acting, it could just be like bullshit. I am male. Male Imran, that's what they call me.
So that's your name.
Look at that giant fucking pencil. You know, just replaying this, I can kind of see like the Xenoblade roots a little bit. Like it's not the same team exactly.
Home for us.
Maybe.
From 1,000 years of darkness.
I'd have to compare credit to credit, but
A millennium of solitude and suffering.
you can kind of see where it comes
The world
from.
wings for you. For the world, death and destruction.
Thank you, Grezzy. I appreciate that. It's always nice to hear praise from people, and especially from like fans of Game Informer. That I need to do a better job of probably reaching out to the audience and talking to people. But it's great when people like come up to me and are saying like, "Hey, I appreciate what you do." It can get maddening without that occasionally, but the emails and the tweets and little messages like this are great. I appreciate it.
My head.
I appreciate it as well, Hakam.
Ah, I see you have awakened.
I try to. I have a decent number of followers, I guess, but I get a lot more like. I guess people who don't follow me but tend to interact with me, that I kind of don't pay attention to most of what's on my Twitter mention feed, unless I actively go look for it. So it's nice when people do contact. My email is also always open.
My name is Larikush. I'm the village doctor here at Sebalrai. They found you lying unconscious in the woods nearby and brought you here.
Yeah, I remember now. I was attacked by rock cats. Man, how stupid of me.
You're lucky they were only rock cats. They are herbivores, after all. It's awfully strange to hear of them attacking humans.
I do not remember how long the intro for this game is.
Peculiar lately. I'm not sure why, but they're much more aggressive than they used to be. You'd better stay away from those woods. By the way, what do you call yourself? I don't recall seeing you around these parts.
My name's Callus. This is my first time here. Which is why I got lost, I guess.
Callus, is it? Welcome to Sebalrai Village, boy. It looks like you took quite a blow to the head, so I was worried you might have amnesia.
Let's see. Dantak does play Dota. Surreal does as well. The biggest one is Leo with Rainbow Six Siege. Reiner will play pretty much any big online game. Obviously, Andy plays WoW. He's been playing WoW for like 20 years. I hop into Monster Hunter now and then. I haven't been doing that as much as I should be recently. I want to get back into FF14 soon. Just because Shadowbringers looks really cool, and I was nearly the beginning of that game. Beyond that, it's a lot of it just time that people don't have to play online. Because when you finish the game, you can move on to the next game, pretty much. But yeah, Leo has done a very good job of trying to get people into Rainbow Six Siege. And I think I might have that somewhere. I need to double check. I had the Division. I played a little bit of it. I need to start getting into that too. This is like one of those things of, honestly, I shouldn't even be streaming because I should be playing Judgment. But
That much to see.
time is... I like doing this more than I like playing games for my own for right this second.
By the way, I left your winglet over there, by the window.
Hey, Mwax, how's it going?
Quite an unusual design for a winglet, I must say.
I
Different from those
believe, yes. It is Tetsuya Takahashi on both this and Xenoblade.
It was handcrafted by my grandfather. He was an excellent engineer.
Ah, I see. Your grandfather. Very impressive. And how is he doing?
He died 2 years ago.
Is that so? I'm sorry to hear.
This is Baten Kaitos, or Baten Kaitos. I never actually heard it said out loud now that I think about it. It is Monolith Soft's post-Xeno Saga, pre-Xenoblade RPG.
Well, thanks for the help, Doc.
Actually, I'm not the one you should be thanking.
There's a card battle system, yes.
I'm in the woods and carried you here.
I see. Nimai, is it?
This is for GameCube. I was watching Rebecca Valentine of GamesIndustry.biz playing Golden Sun, and we started talking about old RPGs, and Baten Kaitos came up, and I remembered how much I love aspects of Baten Kaitos. The sequel is a lot better,
That should do it. Let's get going.
but it's a lot better only within the context of you playing this game. This is 100% emulated, yeah. I was trying to get it going on my Wii, and it wasn't working out. And honestly, it's just easier to stream it this way. It's going to be kind of a weird look, though, because, like, yeah, it's a pre-rendered game, but 3D models. So they're all high-res, and the art's going to look a little stretched. But yeah, I'm mostly playing this because, like, I want to see if I'll get back into it. And if that's the case, I'll also probably stream Baten Kaitos 2 because I love that game. I like the game a lot more than this one. But it needs this game's context. Oh yeah, photography was like a thing in this game, wasn't it? Yeah, the card system in this game is actually surprisingly complicated. I love that Dr. wandered into the middle of this conversation. And now he's stuck, so he can't get out, so he's just standing between us. Yeah, I'm gonna ask about the Doctor now. And now he slowly wanders away. Is this game rare? I don't know. I don't think it's that rare, because I've never heard of it being that rare. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's, like, fairly difficult to find. It didn't sell well. The sequel is surprisingly rare. The sequel, confusingly enough, is called Baten Kaitos 2 in Japan, but in America it's Baten Kaitos Origins. This game always kind of reminded me of Chrono Cross, but like, just in aesthetics and music, basically.
Hey, what's that thing you got strapped to your left shoulder? Is that a winglet?
What version of FF7 or FF6 are you playing, MWAX?
Yes, it is. Well, they say the Empire has tons of it.
Oh, I forgot about this. The background of the text window is just the game's logo, and it's never cropped right.
But you rarely see any down here in the boonies. But it
SNES Classic version's good.
a little strange.
The weird thing about FF6 is there's no, like, perfect version of that game. Like, every version has something missing and something better.
I didn't realize it was so rare. Dr. Larry could Kush asked me about it too. Really? The doc asked you? I didn't know he had an interest in
I think like the best version is theoretically if you can get like the modded ROM, but it's the GBA version with the SNES music patched in.
He never struck me as the type that enjoys fiddling with machinery. You've only got the left one on. Is the other one being repaired or something?
I was never a huge FF4 fan. I think I played it after I played 6, so it didn't feel like all the advancements 6 had, like a subjectively better story and all that.
So my grandfather.
Then when I got to 4, I'm like, okay, this is not as, this is not what I wanted specifically.
Oh, I see.
Then the remake never really appealed to me.
Sorry for meddling. No problem. They work perfectly fine, and together they get me where I want to go. That's good to hear. Your grandfather must have been an excellent engineer. I mean, a custom-made winglet. Wow.
I'd actually pretty much I dig a remake of or Octopath style remakes of the SNES games.
Yeah, he'd make and fix all sorts of things. You could almost say he was a magician.
I do not trust Square to fully remake the SNES games, despite FF7 actually being really amazing. I kind of... Is it me or are JRPGs not weird anymore? Like, they're not this anymore, of this thing of, we're just going to establish a world and tell you all the world-building aspects of it at the outset, and you just got to deal with it. Like, I'm trying to think of like modern JRPGs, and they're all pretty much in the same mold, right? They're all like fantasy games or modern games with some fantasy trappings. I also miss this thing, like this dumb thing of where they try to give you in-game mechanics but establish lore for them in a really weird way. It's like, this is 15 text boxes about the save flower. What game was I playing recently where you couldn't navigate the menus with the analog stick? FF12. I don't remember what this mechanic is about at all. Oh, this is where you level up. I'm digging this music. I forget who did this soundtrack, which I might want to look up at some point. I'm excited for Tales of Arise, because I expected it to just be a Tales game that looks better, which is fine.
Hey, you're the one Mimai saved, right? Glad to see you're up and walking around.
Whoa. Is this him? Her? Me, my? Is this who brought me here?
Uh-huh. Mimai's really cool. He's way smarter than all the drunks you see around here. And helpful, too.
Do I count Nier? Nier... Yoko Taro things are their own weird special things.
Well, thanks, me, my.
But like, he was telling me once like how he came to the decision of like how to make Automata, why he started a 10,000 year in the future robotic thing, and you'd be surprised it wasn't like a grand vision. It was, I didn't think Platinum could do the game I wanted to do, so I made this instead, which is hilarious. But it kind of tells you how games are made these days, or not even these days, just in general. Of, well, I want to do something else, but technology.
Are you a traveler, too?
I bet for the next game he's making, it is going to be that game he described to me.
Me?
Well, his conclusion was, oh, they're actually better than I thought, and they probably could make that game. I think his description of it was an open-world game set in modern-day Tokyo. And it was still going to be a Nier sequel, or not sequel, I guess prequel. And there's only so many things that, in the Nier lore, that could actually apply to. And my guess is it would be the Red Eye War.
I have to go.
Yeah, I would assume so. And, like, it's a weird thing because it seems so important and they just kind of never talk about it. It's just like, oh, this is a thing that happened. And also everything has red eyes in the future. Which is just symbolism more than it is like a civic story thing he's going for. One of the things he told me that never thought... I thought it was weird the Nier community never really picked up on is in one of the published interviews. But it was like, oh, a meal is actually incredibly important to the story in a way that I haven't talked about yet. And also, flowers are very incredibly important to the story in a way I haven't talked about yet. So I assume he wants to get to the explanation of why those things are so important.
I have a name, you know. C-E-D-R. Cedar. They're crazy, huh, Mimai? Why bother going all the way down there just to see some stupid old ruins? Nobody in this village will even go near those woods. They say it's cursed or something. I hope they don't get jumped by wild animals out there, like someone else did.
Yeah, really. Ancient ruins in Moongao Forest, eh? Why don't we go have a look ourselves?
I really forgot how detailed the background art in this game. Like, look at this. Like, you can see individual blades of grass on top of the roofs. Oh, right, this game had an overworld map, too. A very pretty overworld map. One of the things that, like, when AA games died, we lost the experimental JRPG a lot. Okay, so yeah, this is Sakuraba, so that makes sense. Sakuraba is a very talented composer that sometimes really just phones it in. Like, there are straight up Tales tracks that sound exactly the same.
You're dead.
Oh, I should say the helmet. Or not. I don't remember how this works exactly. Yeah, the lack of AA RPGs is a big problem. Because, like, what's left? Tales is the closest thing, and that's inching on AAA now.
That was a pretty sweet battle.
Like, that new game is not a AA budget game. Persona, I think, might be it. What do you call it? Shin Megami Tensei? Wherever that game is. Even though, who knows at this point, like, what you'd actually qualify that as.
Get it on.
I'm excited for PSO. I am excited for 2012's PSO2. I don't know how I feel about 2019's PSO2. One of the things I saw, just by coincidence, days before Microsoft announced it, was one of the new accessories in PSO2, which is literally just like, literally bolt-on tits. Like, you can add breasts anywhere to your character, so people were adding them as six-packs, or on the legs, or on the arms. I don't know that I want to play that game. I want to play the game I played in 2012 with, like, which I didn't understand and was never coming to English. To some extent, I guess you could say PSO2 was like... Oh, okay. Yes, I would put, like, the dumb PSO boobs all over my character, but I wouldn't, like... It would be purely for ironic purposes. But I guess part of my consternation with that, like, concept is that they're not giving it to people because it's funny. They're giving it to people because it's creepy. Which is, like, judging intentions is, you know, never easy. It's almost entirely just guesswork.
You're dead.
But that's kind of the feeling I've gotten from PSO for a couple of years now. Oops. I really like this game's battle music, like, a lot. Like, aesthetically, this game is such a home run. What is voice? triggers a voice clip for the character.
Time to party.
Doesn't Soul Calibur have wings? I know I've gone online. Now I've seen pictures of people online with like giant lizard man wings.
That was
Oh god, Chain of Memories. Have you ever seen the trophy list for Chain of Memories on PS3/4? It might be the worst trophy list I've ever seen. It is just straight up grinding out everything for hundreds and hundreds of hours. I think what you're describing, Gruzzy Fun, is a Silent Hill enemy. Chain of Memory, I liked it at the time on the GBA. I think as an adult, I would find it interminable. I'm interested to see what PSO2 is like when it finally comes out. I have been chasing that story for around 2 years. And Atlas has always been kind of like, or Atlas Sega has been like, well, we'll talk to you about it later. And this is, I guess, why, because they were in negotiations. When the second it got announced, I contacted my Sega PR contact. I was like, you have to let me write the story now. You have to let me tell what happened to PSO and why it's coming out now.
I know it's exciting to travel on your own, but it's very important to be cautious in a foreign land. Your family must be worried sick about you. The last thing you want to do is worry the ones that love you most. Please, go back to them.
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't have anyone to go back to. They're all gone.
God, this
I'm
voice
sorry to
acting
hear
is...
that.
It's genuinely incredible,
But if that's
in the
case,
worst way.
You really need to keep your eyes open, because I know there's someone in this world, someone who is waiting for you.
Waiting? Waiting for me?
Sure. How is that? That better? Can you still hear me? Okay, let me know if I need to boost up anymore.
Yes, indeed. And someone you will come to need.
That sounds like a good find, MWAX. If I had one of those, I'd probably play it for a while.
Is living day by day. Neither of you know how important you are to. In time, you will come to know. Such is the way of the world.
Well, I don't know that I trust a bathroom GBA now that I think about it. I might leave that be. But if I found it somewhere else, maybe.
By the way, why don't you take this with you? It's one of my special recipes. Don't be bashful.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
I lost my
Be
GBA
cautious
between
and take
classes
care
in
of
high
yourself,
school.
young man.
I believe it had a copy of Pokemon Ruby in it. That I was not super far in at the time, but like there was like a hole in the on the bottom of my backpack's front pocket. I didn't realize it, and I put the GBA in there, then walked from class. I was like, oh crap, I can't find it. So I retraced my path. Somebody must have found it and picked it up. And my school had a policy of for their lost and found that if they find a thing that shouldn't be there, they just keep it. So if somebody turned it in, then I would never gotten it back. And I didn't get it back, I had to buy a new one. Has there ever been a thing in a JRPG where someone has told you not to go somewhere, and like you just don't? Like you just never go to that place? That does suck. I never have a good sense of how rare things are. One time I rushed to a GameStop I was at a GameStop and I bought a like cracked copy, or the box was cracked, of Tales of Destiny. I was like, oh, this game is super rare. And it wasn't until later that I realized, oh wait, I'm actually thinking of Tales of Destiny 2. Tales of Destiny 1 is not all that rare. It's a good game. I spent way too much on it, but it's a good game.
Traveler. I'll bet you're from Furcat, right? Isn't this village boring? I mean, there's nothing to do here. Oh, how I long for Furcat. Ancient capital of stone, jewel of the East, city of my hopes and dreams.
I remember I was thinking about this story the other day, but when I was in preschool, I brought a Ninja Turtle with me, and like my brother and I would take the Ninja Turtles and we'd draw in little eyes with pens, not for any reason, we were just dumb kids. But I remember going into my cubby at the end of the day to take my Ninja Turtle back. Another kid claimed it was his. I was like, no, we draw the eyes. That's ours. He's like, I draw the eyes. I remember like that was like the first time in my life I realized people would betray you. Like, people would just... I could not understand why somebody would lie for a thing.
One of these days, I'm going to
it was a thing that he knew was not his.
Or maybe then our eyes will meet. And it's love at first sight. Oh, how romantic. I could
I remember not wanting to be friends with that kid after that.
Oh, stop it. You're daydreaming again. Such silly thoughts won't get the cow's milk, even if you do run into someone like that.
I do not remember who he is, but I agree with that sentiment.
He'd play with your head and leave you the moment he finds another young girl. Just because we have wings doesn't mean we should be fluttering on such childish dreams. Plant your feet firmly on the ground.
Not sure I agree with that sentiment.
Careful steps, slowly but surely.
I know, but everyone likes to flutter on about romantic dreams at my age.
All right, honey. You can dream all you want once you've finished your chores.
What a drag.
I've been thinking a lot about GameCube games recently, just in general. And I kind of wonder if I'm going to be like those people that, when I was growing up, were like, I'm not playing anything past the Atari. That's when games were best. You know, I'm like, RE4, woo! Granted, RE4 is one of the best games of all time, so maybe not the best example. Oh, is this the way we're doing it? The 360 era is weird for me, because, like, if you asked me to make a list of my favorite games, a lot of them would probably be from that era. There's a lot of, like, really, really great, like, genuinely amazing Wii games. I still, and this is, I think, people have called me crazy for, but I think Sin and Punishment 2 is one of the best third-person shooters of all time. It's definitely intense. It's way too intense, and it's way too long. But, like, it keeps up the pacing in a way that, like, shouldn't. I very much remember camping out. The Wii was the last console I camped out for, if I recall correctly. I was probably more hyped for Smash Bros. Brawl than any other video game I can remember. Like, to the point where I was speeding on my way back from the midnight launch in a, like, cops would probably try to pull me over way.
We only carry magnet. Remember, a Magnus is created by extracting the magna essence of an object from its physical property and sealing it. How would you feel if you... and the object crumbled in your hands? You wouldn't be too happy, my friend. Am I right? Never forget rule number 1. Buy your Magnus from a decent source. From people. In other words, our magnet. Believe me, our goods will satisfy.
They did not explain how it's supposed to work on Cydia. That's a good question. I'm going to assume it's going to involve cell phones.
You're a lucky man, as we're currently having a sales promotion. Come in, come on in.
Alright, I actually don't know where I'm supposed to go.
Alrighty. I'd like to check out those ancient...
We were just there.
Villagers seem to have a fear of the woods. Near Hey, relax. You won't catch me off guard this time.
I mean, like, if you removed all actual control from Just Dance and made it, like, just it still had the reactions, but not the, grading, I don't think anyone would notice, honestly.
This! This! This!
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't remember any Baten Kaitos music being in Smash
Hope you're photogenic.
4. There should be.
Time to collect the...
That was there. That would make sense. The Metal Gear Acid of video game. I never got into Metal Gear Acid. I wonder if I should at this point.
Time to party.
Like, just download the PSP games and give it a shot.
Yeah.
I just assume all music is in Ultimate.
That was... Let's get it on. This. This.
Oh, this is gonna be bad.
Is that all you got? Yeah. Yeah.
I remember I simply bought Acid 2 because they had like the 3D viewer and the game came with the Metal Gear Solid 3 cutscenes, and I loved Metal Gear Solid 3 so much that I just bought the game just for that and never actually played the game. Yeah, I expect that Dragon Quest music in Smash is going to be very limited
Not bad.
because Sugiyama is a jerk and a fascist and a lot of things.
Don't be thinking you can beat.
I'd expect you get the main theme, you get the flight theme, and that's probably it. I would actually be surprised if there were remixes in that game.
Yeah. This. Time. You're dead.
The main thing is mostly, yeah, honestly, like that is Dragon Quest.
That was...
I wish we got the Monster Hunter theme. Like, I don't want a Monster Hunter character,
What was that?
but I want the main theme in just every level. Now someone's probably going to tell me the main theme of Monster Hunter in every level.
Graham! Leon!
I'm not streaming Sonic 06 ever again. I did that for charity once. Never doing that again.
Here it comes!
Unclap first! Unclap first!
I'm trying to remember what music plays when you fight a Rathalos. I'm not positive I remember.
Unclap first! Fire first!
Oh right, this is the first enemy that straight up guard, isn't it? Okay, so Monster Hunter is... okay. I like the main Monster Hunter theme.
Is that all you got? Is that all you got?
Use this!
Now!
I didn't like Banjo... So first time I played that game was on Rare Replay. And I was not a fan of it there, but I played the entirety of it. I was happy for people who really were into Banjo when that trailer played. Banjo also looks incredibly, like, faithful to that character. I played World of Light very slowly over, like, I want to say 3 weeks, and I enjoyed it a lot that way.
Fire first! Don't underestimate! Magic! Dense light!
Yeah, I was... Because a couple of people... Obviously, I know some reviewers that got the game early, and they were all saying, oh, World of Light is terrible. I don't like it at all. I was like, okay, that sucks, but I guess that makes some sense. Then when I played it, I'm like, it's not that bad. And they said, it is that bad if you're playing it for
These
review
bags bet you have
over,
some
like,
price
2
these
days.
days.
As somebody that has, like, a... as somebody that has a lot of appreciation for the dumb jokes that they make with those fights, I enjoyed that stuff. Like, I also... I liked going in with card disadvantages and just trying to make it work. So if, like, I got into a very hard fight, like the Snake Eater fight is a very good example of I greatly enjoyed just doing that bullshit. And just, like, eventually winning based on my own skill against their really cheating ways. For me, it was a thing I just kind of popped into every, like, couple of days. I'd do about an hour and then come back later.
My, oh my. Look at what we have here. A load of fresh magnets. These could come in handy.
Hey, you're stealing their things? They're my friends, you know.
They were your friends. These won't be doing them much good now. We gotta do what we can to survive, right? After all, I don't hear them complaining. Besides, I'm not stripping them bare. I'll only take what I need. Catch.
Graham's pendant. Leon's bracelet.
I can kind of understand the argument that trophies are a lot of work for a thing that the internet mostly solves today.
You want me to give these items to their families?
Because
to
even
help
just
them
tech
remember?
descriptions for...
Is that it?
How many are there? 900 trophies is a lot to do.
You know,
And it makes adding new ones over
maybe
time harder. Like, not
That's your share
impossible,
of the
but
loot.
more work
Have to
than
shut you up, I hope.
to not have it.
What? How could you be so... I won't accept goods stolen from my friends.
For me, the trade-off from the text descriptions is the fights. Of, like, we found a clever way to represent this character in a fight versus just having the, oh, this is Morgana from Persona 5. He is Joker's cat.
How insulting!
I can
is
understand
that?
For the most part, I do know who most of the characters are, but there were some that I'm like, I'm scratching my head about this one. There are some that are like funny, like using Sukapon for Rayman. Like, I don't need to know who either of those characters are to get why that's a thing.
Hey!
And
wait,
Sonic is
don't
Glowbox.
go. Thank you for saving me. My name is Shella. I'm glad you came when you did.
I didn't fight that thing to save you, Shella. A saber dragon's fangs will fetch me a juicy sum. End of story.
I've thought about how I'd feel about Rayman's inclusion.
You're from Mira.
I think
the
I'd be
City of Illusion,
fine with it.
aren't you?
Like, I wouldn't necessarily be excited about it, but I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's fine. That was a very convincing fake for a while.
How could you tell?
I liked Origins a lot. Legends was a good game that I felt ended right when I was starting to really enjoy it.
Because
Like, I finished that boss, I'm like, okay, yeah, now I'm getting it. This game is getting really good now.
As soon as I saw
It's
you.
like, okay, now all that's left is Origins levels. I'm like, oh, okay. I really liked New Super Mario Bros. U. I won't say I liked the other 3 games. I genuinely disliked 2. Probably disliked 1. Wii was fine. U was a legitimately great game.
It's said that only the people of Mira can summon guardian spirits to this world.
You seem to know a lot about guardian spirits.
New Super Mario Bros. Looking the way it did was that Nintendo
In
thing
ancient
of,
times,
we don't understand
at the
why this is
threshold
popular,
between this
it
world and
must be
another.
the blandness.
Souls from
So that's
both
why they
worlds
kept it
meet.
looking the way it did, because
Their fates entwined.
that's what they thought people liked. I would assume, anyway.
The visiting soul would become a guardian spirit. Yet very few were able to hear a spirit's voice. And those bonded with a guardian spirit would receive great knowledge
I think
and power.
Super Mario Maker probably does more to redeem New Super Mario Brothers than any of the actual design games. I can see that Gruzzy font, but in a vacuum, you I think is very good.
But I'm surprised. I thought
That
was
said,
just a legend.
I got a
So
code for the game on
tales
Switch and
passed
started
around
playing it
in
again.
fireside chats.
I couldn't get through the first world because it was just like, oh my god, this thing again. Even though I really liked that game, doing it again didn't feel... I wasn't compelled to do it.
Well, there's no way of telling if someone really has a guardian. I wouldn't blame anyone if they thought we were just hallucinating or something. Right?
I'm only a ghost, I'm right here. I like I'm only a ghost because the word ghost is just inherently funny.
Huh? Was that voice your guardian? I thought I heard a faint voice in my mind.
You mean you heard his voice?
Wow, I didn't realize it was that I forgot that, like, being able to name yourself was that bad.
I did. Just barely, though.
There should be more Wario Land games. 2 was so fucking good. 2 was so experimental.
your
It's a
name
thing
is-
like...
I'm Shella.
It was like the indie platformer experimentation thing of the Game Boy Color.
Nice to meet you. Your voice tickles me. It feels strange.
Hey, ever since I woke up at that village, you've been acting kind of funny.
What if they just quit making Mario except for the new versions of Mario Maker? There's a decent chance they do that with 2D games. Like they'll always make 3D Marios, but I feel like they've probably, after, I don't know, New Super Mario Brothers U Switch sold really well. Like, I think it's at 1.5, 2 million, something like that right now. I could see them going back to the drawing board on it.
That reminds me, Doc Larrycush was worried about amnesia.
And Super Mario Maker obviously sells
Hit my
quite
head or
well.
something. Don't tell me you've lost your memory. About everything that happened before that? Is that it?
Super Mario Maker 3D would be a task of overwhelming undertaking.
What? No way! You've got to be kidding me. What's going on?
Like, if anyone could do it, it would be Nintendo, but just... It would... The thought of trying to make that interface, I wouldn't... I could see them, like, starting the idea and just giving up completely. Has anyone played Mario Royale? Mario Royale, I was gonna say is, but now it was, surprisingly fun.
Let's talk about this later. This doesn't look like a nice place to chat. I figure you'll remember soon enough.
Hey, Callus.
I mean, Bubsy
I have to
Bubsy
go to
3D
the
was just like
ruins deep in the forest.
floating platforms and vague environments. You could probably easily make a 3D Bubsy Maker.
What about you two?
We're headed that way too.
I don't know that I agree the Bubsy one wasn't so bad. I owned it. It was way too hard for that level of game.
If you don't mind, but before we leave, could you spare me a minute?
And Bubsy himself sucks.
Though it pains me to leave you here, my mission cannot wait.
You know what game I've been thinking about a lot lately?
Not-
Claymates.
Thank you.
You know that game where you were
For
like
everything.
4 different clay animals? I'm pretty sure it sucked, but I kind of want to go back and find out.
Cast light upon the darkened earth. Save those lost in despair.
I actually have been thinking about Clay Fighter. not as a I want to play Clay Fighter thing, but I'm like, what if somebody just bought Clay Fighter?
Guide us as we journey through
What if somebody like
the
was
darkest
try-
pit of night.
What if that's an Intellivision game? Like, not only do we have Earthworm Jim, we have Clay Fighter. For some reason, not for some reason, Earthworm Jim was in the 64 game. I was gonna say for some reason those are connected in my mind, but for a good reason. Who even owns Clay Fighter at this point? That is a good question. I kind of want to find out. One of the things I'm hoping to launch this week, but it might be in a couple of weeks, depending on when I get the time, is a thing of I want to explore certain missing video games. So, like, I've been spending some time trying to find Money Number 9's 3DS and PSP versions, which obviously don't exist anymore, but they won't admit it. And also, one of the closer ones I've been getting to is
We should be going.
World of Demons, the Platinum mobile title that was supposed to launch last summer and just has not been talked about since then. And every time I try to contact someone about it, it's like, no, it still exists. It's fine. I'm like, okay, what's happening with it? Can you show me? And they're like, no, we can't, but it still exists. I'm like, okay, but I'm relatively sure, yes, at this point it is completely dead. I just need to get the confirmation on that. Inafune's at level 5. They're explicitly not letting him take questions. Yeah, Concept got bought by level 5. It affords camera, pieces locked to equipment. I would... One, Gutsy found that actually a pretty good idea. I think it would be interesting. I would not be shocked if Wonderful 101 gets put on Switch. Inaba more or less hinted at it. And so when the Switch first came out and Platinum was doing okay, here's what we're working on next, teaser, one was Bayonetta that was clearly meant for Switch. And then that got announced a little while later. The other was Wonderful 101 that was being teased for Switch. Why it never got announced, who knows? Maybe they decided better against it, but why can't I access the save flower? Yeah, whatever. I will say level 5 and Concept have that have a nice little grift going in terms of Inafune answering questions. It's like whenever I ask them about Milo number 9, it is, ask level 5 says we can't answer that, ask Concept. Concept says we can't answer that, ask level 5. Level 5 says, well, we own Concept, but the publisher is Deep Silver, so ask them. Deep Silver says we have no idea, ask the developers. Basically, yeah, we run around. Oh shit. D-pad. Has anyone ever played Tales of Symphonia 2? I've never played the game, but I've always heard bad things.
Hope you're photogenic.
We can win this!
Yeah, like, so my knowledge of Symphonia 2 is that it was like a very, it was a thing that Namco was just kind of like putting out. Just saying, like, oh, well, so we got Wii support, so here's this one thing that people can play. And the Wii started selling well, so they're like, oh, we need to put some more money behind this thing. So they put like a motion capture cutscenes that it was not built for, and it looked jarringly bad.
I got all worried for you.
I like Symphonia 1 a lot. Yeah, the Symphonia ports aren't great. They're all based on the PS2 version, if I recall correctly.
You're dead.
I loved Symphonia when I bought it X number of years ago. I think I played through it maybe like 6 times. Oh, I saw a picture of that Urkel thing you're talking about, Frankie.
Mighty sword.
And I was like, is this old? It doesn't look old.
Style. Blue storm.
I've always kind of wondered, do you think Jaleel White regrets playing Urkel? Because he wasn't in much after that. But I always kind of wondered, like, if you're in a career-defining role, but it's a role that makes it so no one can ever see you as anything else, like, is that regretful? That feels like a big waste of a very nice TV. For a second, Shadowhog, I thought you meant Nimoy played Sonic, and I pictured that in my head, and it's fantastic.
What is it?
People really liked Nimoy's replacement in Kingdom Hearts 3, and I did not. Yeah, it's like, it didn't sound like Nimoy, which is what I wanted for the role.
You come at last, O lady child, to the depths of Mount Perishil's realm.
This is a lot.
Prepare yourself.
Oh man, that GameCube water effect. So, I mean, yes, that is a story justification for it. I don't know if that's an official justification. Because it doesn't have that kind of tinny, swimmy sound in Japanese. It's only the English VA, which makes me think it's just incompetence. GameCube water is really good. I think the best water I've seen this generation is Sea of Thieves. Because damn, that water looks good. But I remember when water and fire were the things you would use to judge how good a game looked.
Fire first!
Doesn't have that... I want to say the Japanese version didn't, but I might be completely wrong. There was some game I was thinking about recently that I remember thinking video games can legitimately not look better than this. And it might have been Metal Gear Solid 3. Because there's a part where you're fighting, I've totally forgotten his name, the astronaut. Which, that's my favorite game of all one of my favorite games of all time, I should remember the boss names. But he has a flamethrower and the fire looks so amazing. I could not imagine video games looking better than that. The Fury, you're right, thanks. I am a fraud. I'm a huge fraud. Oh shit. Pokemon Battle Revolution, that was the Wii one, right? I remember that game looking amazing. Like, maybe it doesn't, like, at the time though, I remember like, oh man, the lighting in this game is great. MGS4 really does hold up. What am I doing HP wise? Alright. But I could probably heal.
Use this.
Here.
5 looked great from a technological perspective. I don't know how much I like the art.
Fire first! Aqua first! Is that all?
Oh, I'm taking a huge hit from this one.
This. Is that all you got? Is that all you got?
I want to say Origins had a better battle theme, but I might be wrong.
Aqua first!
I like how giving him unripe bananas does damage to him.
Here.
I'm pretty excited for Fire Emblem. I played Mua at E3 and I wasn't digging it. I think that game was going to be what people want it to be, which is fine. This is still trapped on GameCube only, yeah. This never made it off GameCube. Oh shit. There's one attack there. Another card RPG series early on. I'm not positive what you're referring to, but I would not be surprised. Yeah, PSO was episode 3 was card-based. You know what was also card-based? The surprisingly good Mega Man Battle Network transmission. I really like the RPGs, but I thought the GameCube platform was also pretty good. Alright, I'm in defensive posture at the moment. I need to do better about this one. Because I want to do this. I want a photo of him to sell.
Cheeseburger!
Yeah, I would play other 2D Mega Mans. There's a lot of very good ones.
The time has
I wouldn't
come.
be shocked if the like Switch Mini has with the has an actual D-pad. Analog triggers, I believe, is a lawsuit thing. So everyone else just pays the what do you call it? The fees, I guess. But Nintendo won't, so they don't do analog triggers anymore.
Behold, the blessing of Malpercio.
There is a patent on analog triggers that predates the GameCube. Not the GameCube, no. There's a patent on the way you do analog triggers. I'm not sure who has the copyright, I'll have to look it up. But they successfully sued and
What
won
is this?
on the patent. So Sony and Microsoft think it's too big a deal to not do it. And Nintendo was just like, screw it, we're just not going to have analog triggers. I want a Mega Man Network Battle Collection, Battle Network, another Mega Man Zero collection, a Mega Man ZX and ZXA collection as well. ZXA, surprisingly good. I've never played any of the, what were they called? Was it Battle Force? The sequel series that was about animals instead? Star Force, that's it.
The gate to R has been opened.
I've never played any of those. Because like I saw it behind the back, I'm like, no, that's not Battle Network.
Stop it!
A sequel series and spiritual sequel, I should say. Not like directly story related. But taking the same idea. It's an actual sequel?
Cursed
Oh,
evil
interesting.
god from ancient times.
How was I supposed to know? And why do you know all this?
I forget what Mega Man Battle Network game it was, but there was a line of like, "We need to jack into this bear," that made me laugh for way too long.
You!
Go. You will return what you have stolen.
No! Let me go!
Get away from her!
There was one of the Battle Network games, I think it was 3, that had this amazing post-game. It was like, okay, fight harder versions of all the bosses through this, like, circuitous-ass dungeon that was like 4 hours long. I should play Arc Rise Fantasia someday. That voice acting would really get some comments. I think I checked out a Battle Network at 5. Whichever one they introduced the General from Mega Man X4.
Ow! My head. Not again.
I've never done research into Arc Rise Fantasia's voice acting or why it's so bad, but it is really bad. Maybe I should look into it.
It's you, Nimai. Thanks. I'll live. They caught me off guard. Looks like they took that shiny Magnus, too. I can't believe how lucky I am, though, to find him here, of all places. Giacomo. The man who killed my grandfather. And Fee.
Giacomo.
I'll get you, Giacomo.
Giacomo. I kind of want to go, let's just leave him alone. Because I think that's funny.
You're kidding me. I'm going after Giacomo. It took forever to find him.
This weird thing
Gotta
of
let
like...
him go, just like that?
Because this is the generation after... or not first generation of voice acting, but the first generation of like major voice acting for pretty much every game. Where they also didn't want to mess with the tradition of letting you name characters. So it had this thing of Final Fantasy X where Yuna couldn't say the name of the guy she loves because you could name Titus. And nowadays they're just like, fuck it, it's gonna be Noctis, so everyone can call him Noctis or Noct or whatever. But at the time it was this hilarious transition.
Well now.
I also wish we could get Metal Gear Rising 2. I am of the firm belief, even though I've been told otherwise many times by people who would know, that it did exist at some point, but other people say, like, no, it definitely didn't. Development never started, Konami wasn't interested.
We should go back to the village first, and ask around about the battleship. That thing was huge. Someone must have seen it, or knows something about it.
I mean, naming characters was fun in, like, the one instance of naming Link Toast, so Deku Tree says, well done, Toast. And that's it. That was the single instance of it being fine.
Alright, alright. You saved my life after all.
What was the first
Here,
game where you
jump
couldn't
in my
name
cave.
Link? It would have been Breath of the Wild, right? Oh yeah, Faces of Evil. I would say I don't count the CDI games, but I literally just forgot they existed. But yeah, of mainline games, Breath of the Wild I think is it. There's a treasure chest there. I wanted to get it. Why did they... Also, I want to call this out. The way this game has like the FMV in the background that you're just kind of walking on makes the clouds look amazing. One thing I don't like is that there was a part in Ground Zeroes that... I don't want to go through as one person. There's a part of Ground Zeroes where it kind of sounds like Kojima's talking shit about Rising.
Callus, I'm glad you're safe. It sounded like trouble was brewing over by the forest. Come
I
talk
miss
with
like
the village headman.
the big characters
Everyone's gathered
on
at his place.
a scaled down overworld thing. I can't remember the last RPG that's done that.
I'm not sure what it was. A strange monster came up from the spring in the forest. It was saying something about Mount Persio.
What was that? Did you say Malpercio? An evil deity from ancient times. I knew.
I mean, maybe Octopath does that, because I don't actually... I've not played that game yet.
Stay away from that forest.
As I sit here playing a GameCube RPG I played 20 years ago.
But wait!
No more buts, young man. You and your lot have unleashed a
Octopath
great
does not
evil.
do that.
Ignorant fools.
But, like, you guys know what I'm talking about, like the FF7 overworld, or, like, FF6 to some extent, of here's this big character on this, like, scaled-down world. Did Bravely do that? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it did.
I believe the other travelers, a young girl among them, also entered the forest.
I like Bravely Fine. A lot of people really hated it. I think I literally quit at the final boss. Like, I died once, I'm like, okay, I'm done. And which I've done before in RPGs, too. I didn't even YouTube the ending, I was just like, I'm done.
Shella. She was with me. We were attacked by soldiers from a giant battleship. She was captured.
Unfavorable circumstances, to say the least.
There's such a long pause with every ellipses.
Doc, do you know anything about that ship? I have to track it down.
No, I'm afraid not.
If you're talking about that huge, strange ship, I saw it fly towards the city.
The city! That must be it! Thanks so much!
Be careful, Callus. Powerful entities seem to be at work.
You know what this game kind of reminds me of aesthetically? Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Thanks, Doc. I will. Alright, let's go get him. You're mine, Giacomo.
One more thing, Callus. I have a favor to ask of you. It shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, I believe, like, at the time, the comparisons were Skies of Arcadia.
Your place? Sure. I'll drop by later then.
Frankie, how playable is early Final Fantasy XIV by myself? Because, like, I kind of just want to go through and just see the story. But, like, nobody's around to play that early game stuff with me anymore. I named my spirit Imran, yes, because technically the spirit is you. I never played Ni no Kuni 1. I think I might do that with this. I was gonna say the Switch remaster, but Bandai Namco has been very careful to say the Switch version is not the remaster. The PS4 version is the remaster. The Switch version is just the original. They've not actually explained what that means. I think I'm on Ultros. Scala in terms of Final Fantasy XIV scares me. I would be so afraid to do the wrong thing and get yelled at. Because I don't care about being good in that game. I want to just press attack and occasionally hit skills and see the story. I want to say I'm a dragoon. So like I have the skill set up like, alright, just do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, cooldown 1, 2, 3. I don't play MMOs well. I play them as like automatically as I can possibly play them. Like, honestly, I think in FF12, when I'm playing, I just, like, my main battle strategy is setting up gambits where everyone will just constantly attack and constantly heal. And just occasionally, when MP goes low, having 100 ethers in the background. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, I've obtained explosives. Did I ever tell my Yoshida story? That, like, Square Enix said I was supposed to get an interview with him at a Final Fantasy thing. And like Square Enix said, like, oh, he's too busy, we can't make it happen. I was like, alright, fine. Then the day before, because this is in Vegas, the day I was leaving that morning, I was like, okay, I'm gonna set a blackjack table. I've not spent any money in Vegas so far. I'm just gonna, roll a couple things. Yoshida was sitting next to me, and like he didn't speak a whole lot of English, but like we got through enough of a conversation that when I told Square Enix people about it, they're like, yeah, that happens sometimes. Like people just meet him. This church music definitely reminds me of something. I can't remember what. Like, I want to say Sakuraba reused this in Dark Souls. I've only been to church once, and it was for a religion class. And I asked a priest how much of church is like The Simpsons. He said more than you would think. Like I said, Sakuraba occasionally nails it, and occasionally he phones it in. I was about to say I wonder why we don't get pre-rendered games anymore, but like, aside from the, having to constantly scale that thing, imagine how much fucking work it would be to paint a set like this in HD resolution. I think I'm gonna do whatever happens in the city, and I might call it there. Because that'll be about 2 hours, I think. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll play more. I don't know. It's a Saturday. Who cares? I mean, theoretically, if you're making like a CG thing with like scalable sets or scalable objects, you could just like re-render everything at a higher resolution. The problem with like the pre-rendered Final Fantasy ones is that Square lost all that stuff and had to literally rip the images from the games. All sex is scalable when you think about it. Yeah, what is the term for it? Neural AI? Like that thing that like improves textures?
I'll throw you up.
Wait, did he just say I'll throw you up? I would like to see better remasters. I am surprisingly impressed by the Final Fantasy IX remaster. Or, sorry, 8 remaster. But that's them rebuilding that game from scratch.
That was a pretty sweet battle.
I mean, what I bet is that remasters from PS4 to PS5 are going to be about ray tracing. Like Last of Us Part 2 Ray Tracing Edition, or whatever they end up calling it.
This'll be easy.
Better Lighting Edition. Ray tracing looks super good. I personally didn't see a big difference until that Minecraft thing. Then I was like, holy crap. Like, I can genuinely see what this does now.
That was way too... This'll be easy. Ha! Mighty sword, fly swiftly as a gust of wind. Storm style. Restore.
I've more or less taken myself out of the computer hardware, like, Air Arena. Now I'm just kind of like, okay, I'll just buy a pre-built every 6 years. might have to end up selling my desktop at some point in the next couple of months, because, like, looking for a new apartment, I'm never going to find a deal as good as this one. So if I have to end up needing space, the computer might be what needs to go. I would say there's noticeable differences for PS3 and PS4, but I wouldn't be like shocked at anyone who said like wouldn't be able to tell the difference. No, I'm just getting not evicted, but so I have a very good deal on this apartment, and my landlords like they rented this place out while they went and traveled the country for a bit. Now they're coming back and they want to sell this place off, and it's this place will go easily for like $400,000 to $500,000. So the amount of rent we're paying, not nearly enough to convince them to let us stay. So I have to find somewhere that will let me stay. And I'm moving out on my own without a roommate. So it's like in San Francisco, it's not easy to find that place on a game journalist salary.
That was way too easy.
There's what I would say is, if I were to give you a good example of a game that's on next gen that would not be on a previous gen, the answer to me would be Monster Hunter World. Cost of living is great in Minnesota. The reason I have this job is because I live in San Francisco. Because it's cheaper to pay me this salary than it is to send someone to San Francisco for every gaming event.
That was...
As an example, I have 2 things in July that I know of so far. And they're not like back to back. So flying someone out for those 2 things would cost, let's say, like $800, minus hotel costs and all that too. Like, it's not a cheap thing. Am I going to Evo? No, usually we send Suriel to Evo. I might just go on my own this year. Like, not for work. What's your problem? There we go. Oh, I just have to time it. Also, this pre-rendered water looks fucking amazing. Look at that.
I'll roll you up.
To me, I mean, there's a lot of things that, like, the previous generation versions of games probably could have been done, but the market realities didn't really allow it. Like, I think Mortal Kombat 10 could have been on PS3 and 360. They announced that version. They just didn't release it because who was working on it? High Voltage? Because, like, they couldn't get it together. Tomb Raider... what's the name of that game? Rise of the Tomb Raider. There's a 360 version of it, which is great. I had heard at some point that 360 version was supposed to get ported to Switch. It didn't, as far as I know. Quite obviously. I had heard at one point that Shadow of the Tomb Raider was supposed to be on Switch. That didn't come either. But that might not be a bad thing. That game was kind of boring.
That was a pretty sweet battle.
There was a weird period of time where Nintendo was out there cutting deals on like Western games to try and get like a big thing for Switch. I don't know what came of it, but like obviously Witcher came of it. Okay, wait, I think I figured this puzzle out. Never mind. I'm being dumb. See ya, Admin. Did I die? No, okay. I never really got into the old Tomb Raiders, but I really like the reboot series. I think the idea of a tank control platformer just doesn't appeal to me. Which is fine, like, people should have that version of the game if they want it. But I never got the... I never took part of the dislike of the modern Tomb Raider reboots. That said, I don't like Shadow. At all. I like Rise. Yeah. I like Rise. I like it better than Uncharted 4, honestly. See ya, Gruzzy Fun. Thanks for coming. They are definitely far removed from old Tomb Raider. They're definitely a gameplay reboot as well. I enjoyed, what was that game that came before the remake? Where, like, the second level was a dinner party, and you were, like, riding a motorcycle as Laura in, like, a cocktail dress? Legend sounds right. Because I don't think I liked Underworld that much. Or at least I never got through it, but I enjoyed Legend. I'd be fine with that kind of game. That said, based on what Crystal Dynamics is doing now, maybe they should be doing Tomb Raider instead. I think Avengers will pick up. I think there's no way they released that game the way that demo looked.
Not bad.
And I don't remember, did that demo ever become public, or have they, like, has it come out? Because when I came out of that presentation, I was like, this is bad. I think I leaned over to my colleague and was like, that didn't look good at all. Okay, that's not public then yet, but it wasn't good looking. I believe during the presentation there was like tiny bits of gameplay that were maybe like 1 second long. They showed us the full intro level behind closed doors. There were different degrees of polish. The Hulk was pretty polished, Black Widow was pretty polished, but didn't look fun at all. Hers was a boss fight against Taskmaster that was mostly QTEs and also just a thing of her like punching at Taskmaster, but it looked like he wasn't taking any of the punches. It looked like if that game came out before we knew about Insomniac's Spider-Man, I'd have a lot better feelings towards it. But after Spider-Man, it looks a lot worse. The dialogue between Black Widow and Taskmaster was awful because it was like exposition about Taskmaster. So Black Widow was like, you learn from fighting, so this fight's better for you if it keeps going on. He's like, maybe you found me out then, Black Widow. And she's like, then I have to end this right now. And then the fight goes on for like another 2 minutes. Oh right, there's like a weird poker aspect to cards I never wanted to figure out. Because I don't know how to play poker. Nor will I ever learn. Like, not intentionally, I just, like, people have taught me, I just don't remember it or retain it at all.
No holds barred. This is for real.
These are cool enemy designs. I mean, they're just bombs, but they're kind of cool looking bombs.
Here you go. Is that all you got?
I did that badly. I should have done a different combination, but oh well. He died anyway.
Sorry I had to beat you to him.
Alright, that's the downside of the photo thing, is that you can't get the cool items, or other items from it. What's everyone think of Elden Ring? I'm curious. Like, there's that Miyazaki interview out now where he talks a little bit about the game, and there's like that teaser trailer. I've known about that game for about a year and a half now, maybe a little less. And I've been curious how people are, like, going to take to it.
Look at that.
There's a thing Miyazaki said in his interview of you can do combat on a horse, which I'm really curious how that's going to play with like the more Dark Souls style combat.
I'll need your help to take out Giacomo.
Like, I can better imagine that with Sekiro than I can with Dark Souls.
Wait a minute. You're still acting a little strange. I'll tell you again, just in case. Remember, the Guardian Spirit's power in battle depends on its relationship with the one it's guarding. I'm talking about trust here. If it's lost, in other words, if I no longer trust your advice, powers won't be as effective in battle. I do trust you, and find your advice helpful, but this won't work unless our trust is mutual. Okay? When you have advice for me, think about how it might affect our bond. A healthy bond will help us fight our enemies in the long run.
I don't recall if this is actually a mechanic.
That's the spirit. Let's get going.
I didn't get a chance to try the Neo beta because of E3. But I hope, like, I haven't heard anything about it. I don't know, like, if it's any good or not. I would assume it's just Neo again. Look at it. There's like a Ghibli quality to these paintings. I fucking miss games like this. Legacy of Goku was the top-down action RPG, right? I remember liking it. What's the new game called? Kakarot? It has whiffs of Legacy of Goku. I hope that game is better than that demo showed. I'll say that much. the demo kind of bored me. I've suddenly gotten very sneezy, which is why I'm like touching my nose and sniffling, so I don't sneeze into the microphone. It's kind of like Xenoverse. It does play, I think, more like the Naruto games, but it doesn't do enough like those Naruto games to make me like that. I like those Naruto games. I like them fine, but it does. So the boss fights in those games were these like big QTE events, and they, while maybe not gameplay interesting, were full of fan service of like, wow, this looks super cool. Kakarot is not that, and that disappoints me. Like, it's basically just like, oh, rush at Raditz, oh, he's powering up, stay away. It's pretty bog standard. Like, maybe future ones look fine. I think what would fix that game is if you can play other characters as well. Like, if you're switching between Piccolo and Raditz, that would be great. Or, I'm sorry, Piccolo and Goku. Yeah, One Piece was, I don't want to say botched, because One Piece is a hard sell in America, but they didn't do a whole lot to make sure that game sold well. Oh yeah, there's a mechanic in this game where, like, cards in your deck age. So, like, cheese will eventually get moldy, ice will eventually melt, bananas will ripen and spoil. I should play more One Piece. It was fine. You know what? Here's a controversial opinion. I think the medicine and healing part of MGS3 is good. I think I liked it. People always complain like, oh no, you have to go into the menu to take out your bolts. Take out the damn bolts. FMV clouds.
What do you want? One of our Empire's battleships is inferred in this mansion. Move along. Nothing to see.
Well, I didn't expect them to usher us through the front door. What should we do? Stirring things up with a fight would be too wise, I suppose.
I played MGS3 a lot. There was one run where I killed literally every enemy in the game, which involved killing enemies until alarms stopped producing enemies in every single area. The fear fight was hilarious. Wouldn't you do that? Thank you, Arxes Firebolt, for the follow. Wow.
Catch me if you can.
You! Come back here!
I'm sorry, the sorrow fight. I was reading when you said fear right there.
That little devil. You saw him too, didn't you? He's been sneaking into houses all over the city.
The fear fight is actually, I think, the hardest one for me to do non-lethally. If you don't have spoiled meat on you, he's a pain. Not the pain. He's a pain in the ass.
I heard he even snuck into the Lord's mansion there. Is there no end to his mischief? If I see him again, I'll be sure to catch him and teach him a lesson.
Did he really sneak into the Lord's mansion? How did he do that?
How should I know? There could be a hidden entrance somewhere or something. I'm surprised he didn't get caught by the Imperial soldiers.
I think in one run, like my favorite way to kill the end, even though it's the least honorable way, I guess. Like, okay, not the least honorable way. There's less honorable ways to do it.
Kid and ask him.
But to kill him at the scene at the docks, where he's being wheeled out, and you could just shoot him in the head. Like, I have very valid and legitimate criticisms with Kojima. But when he does really detail-oriented things with his games, they are far and away the best things. What was that? There's a really good detail in MGS3 of you find these mushrooms where the description says, like, there's a legend they attract lightning or something like that. And if you throw the mushrooms down during the fight with Vulcan, every lightning attack he does to you will be blocked by them.
Whoa!
What are you doing here, man? You're trespassing on my turf. Palolo III, Master of Shadows.
Perfect timing. I've been looking for you.
Really? Do you want to be one of my henchmen?
No, not exactly. I need to get into the Lord's mansion. I heard you snuck in the other day. Could you tell me how you did it?
So you want to visit the Lord's mansion, huh? I could show you how. But why on earth do you want to get in there?
Why? Well, you see...
I did that my first time. I killed Ocelot. Like, he was unconscious. I'm like, what if I just killed him now? And I cut him up. And the game's like, you created a time paradox.
Let me guess. You're in love.
Hey! Quit talking through me! I can't believe you made me say that!
Ha-ha!
Ha-ha!
No problem. I'll show you how I did it. You know, those kind of stories make me a little misty-eyed. But it's gonna cost you.
No offense, but I'm in a hurry. So, you have to tell me now.
Hold your horses. Business is business. Secrets can only be told in return for loot. That's the bottom line. You bring me the loot, I'll tell you the secret.
Did I ever tell the story of the time I almost got cast to dub porn? I'm guessing no, because I feel like I would have said this story before.
Bring me one, and I'll tell you the secret.
I was in England, and my job at the time was I was giving tours for the college. So, one of the parents of a student, or prospective student, came up to me after. Is like, "Hey, you're American." I'm like, "Yeah." Like, so I have this voice acting job, and I need someone with an American accent. I could, like, it's way too expensive to find someone through one of the talent agencies, so I was wondering if you could help me out. I was like, I don't know, I kind of have this job, I'm just a college student, like, it's, I'm not sure I can do this. It's like, no, it's fine, there's not a whole lot of voice acting, you're paid very well, and as a very poor college student, obviously, yes, I wanted to do that. So, he calls me with a place later to meet up with him, and like, you know, I don't know if it was the audition or whatever, and he starts saying, speaking this microphone, read this script. I don't remember what the script was, but it was like something about a seduction or something like that. And I'm like, hey, this is weird. Is this like for a movie? He's like, yeah, kinda. So I start reading it, and it starts occurring to me, there's no story here. This is just like, I forget what it was, but it was pornography from like a foreign country. I was like, okay, I think I figured out what this is. I don't want to do this. He's like, no, it's fine. No one's ever gonna know it's you. We'll use a fake name for the credits. Like, no, there's more other reasons I don't want to do this. So I walked out. I remember just, like, telling people afterwards, they're like, yeah, that people will do that to Americans. I'm like, okay. I guess I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Okay.
That would be over 10 years ago. The porn name is your middle name in the street you grew up on, right? So mine would be Ahmed Whisperwood.
Oh man, this is annoying. Any idea where I'd find such a web?
That's what I like to hear.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Okay, let me think. They're pretty rare, but sometimes I can find one in the bushes or on a riverbank. Only sometimes, though. Try looking around the river, outside the city. You'll find one if you're lucky.
If I'm lucky, huh? I guess I don't have a choice. Let's get this over with.
I'll be in my hideout.
Yours would be Michael Oak would be fine if you changed it to like just shorten it to Mike Oak.
If you find the web, take it there. I'll tell the boys you'll be coming. Well, good luck, man.
I remember distinctly thinking when playing this game that they did drag people in off the street. Because like some of the voice acting, it's clearly not professionals. Reese is not a bad one. Let me do a little deck movery. Oh, my bananas are ripe. Hooray. I've never played Chaos Wars, and I always wonder if I should. Just to experience it. This is so well drawn. Holy shit. bushes around the riverbank. Do they mean outside of town? Or in the forest? This game refers to rivers in a weird way, and I don't remember exactly if they're like cloud rivers or what. I might need to look up exactly where that is, because I don't feel like searching for it. Yeah, 1 second. Let me look that up. Let me mute my mic while I'm doing it, so there's not a huge amount of keyboard clacks. I wonder what the oldest game on GameFAQs is, like that was written new. Okay, yeah, I have to go back to the valley. Alright, let's go. I'm apparently underleveled for this next part, so that should be fun.
You're dead. Time to collect.
Oh wait, I came through the wrong entrance. Well, that's fine, because I need to...
I'll roll you up.
I'm gonna hit the church back anyway. I'm surprised there's not a whole lot of talk about Judgment now. Like, the game's out, but, like, nobody's talking about it. I've been enjoying it. I wish the investigative stuff was a little more fleshed out. One problem I feel like that's hurting it in terms of talk is that, like, the first couple of hours don't have any side stories. Like, they don't introduce the being able to work jobs for a while. I was considering playing it for the stream, but also, like, getting into it in the middle of the story probably isn't great. Like, if I did it for the stream, I'd have to start over. How many experience do I need? Does not tell me. Alright, whatever. Do another quick safety save. I'm excited for SGDQ, but I haven't looked at the schedule yet. It seems like people are a little bummed by this year's schedule. I don't know. The actual games being played, as long as they're not like 5-hour games, I usually just leave on and let it do whatever.
Get it on. They're good to watch, MWAX. I don't think they have the same quality that they used to have. That may be because I've watched so many at this point. But they're fun watches. Let's get it on. This.
Yeah, from a repetition argument, I could definitely see the kill the animals, save the animals thing just being boring. But like, from like a raising money argument, I can also see why they do it. Don't you though? Don't you like? Wasn't there a guy who would have gotten the world record, but he ended up having to save the animals? That is definitely a reason.
I am time. Hear my voice. Bring time.
My issue with GDQ is that I really wish they'd stop accepting donations from Notch.
That was a pretty sweet battle.
I understand it's charity, so you can't not take Notch donations. But like, why not just not doing it? Like, what if we just didn't take donations from the white supremacist? Wait, what did I replace that with? Oh yeah, that's fine. The crowd reactions are fine, but like, here's what I would like. I would like if they took Notch donations and didn't say his name ever. Like, use his money, don't give him any PR.
Don't like the odds here. Go.
Oh, this is gonna be a long ass fight, isn't it? He's constantly increasing his defense like that. It's not hard, it's just gonna be long.
This! Yeah! This!
With all this Eva discourse going on, I really want to watch Shin Godzilla again. The more I think about that porn thing, I want to say I was probably asked to dub hentai. But why they think we need an American for that is not a question I want to ask myself.
Here you go. Here you go.
I like the idea of asking that at some, like, when your kid's touring a college, though. Oh good, he dead.
Phew. I worked up a sweat there.
There are times where his voice sounds very familiar, but it might be because I've played this game before. It's literally reminding me of itself. But I kind of wonder if like this guy became like a protagonist in a different or prolific voice actor elsewhere.
Say cheeseburger. Time to collect the loot.
He is Jackie, that's why it sounds familiar. He was also probably Jackie in DOA. Because they would have reused this voice clips from VF4. So he does actually sound familiar. Okay. It's good to know that I'm not crazy. As much as I try, I cannot summon Paul Phoenix's voice from my memory. Oh, I really want to know who he is in Metal Wolf Chaos. That game should be out by now. I wonder why it was taking so long. They announced it a year ago. I played it a year ago. Is he Huh. He's Captain Falcon. Interesting. Really? Frankie, do you know why this game, like, it had a very different first trailer in terms of voice acting, but then the actual product was a lot worse? The scuttlebutt I had always heard is that, like, someone from the studio slept with the producer's, like, girlfriend or something like that. So he, like, angrily took the project away to a different studio that had, like, no real experience. Oh, so he would have been Siegfried in Soul Blade. That makes sense. In my memory, that sounds right. But it being localized in Japan also makes a lot of sense. I'm just very confused why it had a different voice acting in the first trailer.
Yep, this is it. Right on.
Right on.
Wow.
That's interesting to know.
Rainbow spider's web?
And also makes a lot of
I'll take
sense.
that off your hands.
Huh? No way. This is my dude.
But it's not nearly as, like, active as Metal Wolf KS was.
Alright, kid.
This is the Netflix
get
version
my
of Eva versus the ADV version.
Gonna show me how to get into the mansion?
Okay, okay. A promise is a promise. See this well here? There's a secret passage at the bottom that leads to the mansion. It ain't very deep and the water's pretty much gone, so it's no big deal.
Hey, Skulls is here.
You might get a little wet once you're inside the mansion, though.
I see. How did you find this passage? I'm impressed.
Skulls, were you here long enough to find the revelation that Callus has the same voice actor as Jackie from DOA 5?
Well, you know, being the master of shadows and all, it was nothing. Hey, you said you're in a hurry, right? If you're not ready yet, do what you need to do. I'll be waiting here.
Alright.
Are you ready to sneak into the mansion?
Okay, let's go.
Be careful in there. That mansion's full of spooky helmet heads. Don't get caught, okay?
I'll watch my step. See ya. And thanks for the help, Lolo.
Is Tom in Shenmue 3? I haven't looked at anything from Shenmue 3 because I'm sure it's going to be bad, but, like, is Tom in that game?
Lolo? Are you sure this is a rainbow spider's web? I don't think it is.
It's not. They're really hard to find this time of year.
You knew all along, but you showed him the passage anyway? That was nice of you.
Yeah.
I don't believe Tom was in 2, because 2 was all in China.
I impressed
What's he gonna do,
myself
drive his
sometimes.
hot dog cart there? I have never played 2 either, but I want Giant Bomb to play 2. I have no idea where 3 is, honestly. I just assumed they went back to Japan, because Shenmue. I saw Yu Suzuki say Shenmue 3 is only 40% of the story. Oh, did they? Oh, I'm excited. I want to see Shenmue 2. I want to see them play Shenmue 2. Because their exasperation over that game gave me life. I don't like Shenmue. I appreciate Shenmue, but I don't like it.
Giacomo must be on that ship.
Giacomo.
Which means we gotta get up to the roof. She'll have to wait. First things first. I'm going for you, Giacomo.
I think Crime Crew is supposed to be on Tuesdays-ish? The thing I like about Crime Crew is it was filmed so long ago that we're getting into, like, Dan slowly learning to hate Red Dead Redemption.
You're dead.
Yeah, Yakuza is not Shenmue. Yakuza is a weird series because it constantly gets compared to things it's not. Astral Chain probably is going to be pretty good. It looks like an expansion of V's mechanics from DMC5, even though they obviously developed entirely separately.
Time to party.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that Shenmue is closer than Yakuza. I also am of the belief that Yakuza is probably, yeah, like, it's River City Rampage. They announced a new River City recently, didn't they? River City Girls? Arxis is making it? No, Way Forward's making it. Arxis is publishing. Have I ever told the story of the time that I tried to buy River City Rampage's license? I tried to actually buy the IP. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to the story. I found out who owned it, and I was like, I wonder if I can just buy this. So I talked to him, and he wanted, like, not that much, honestly, like $2,500, not a huge amount. Then he suddenly raised the price and said it had to be done that day. And I was like, no. Fuck off. And the reason I found out later is that he didn't know for sure that he owned it. Because Atlas also released their own River City Ransom game. So, up until Arxis bought it, I don't think anyone knew who really owned River City Ransom. I was talking to someone at E3 about No One Lives Forever. Because they're like, I'm pretty sure we own that license, but to prove it would be so hard that no one will ever want to do anything with it. Maybe I should buy Clay Fighter. Maybe I should own it so nobody can buy or make a new Clay Fighter. I think if someone were to theoretically make a new Clay Fighter, it would be like a Smash Brothers style game.
Mighty sword, fly swiftly.
It would be Brawlhalla with,
Style.
is Brawlhalla the game I'm thinking of? Yeah, Brawlhalla. With, Clay characters.
No.
I was trying to, in my head, I was trying to get clarity between Brawlhalla and Brawl Stars. Because Brawl Stars is the mobile game. With the weirdly intricate commercial. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second, because I need to sneeze.
Someone's coming.
Oh, right, now the sneeze passed. Great. Yeah, I didn't play Shaq Fu,
Found what they were after.
but I saw enough of it to know it was a racist piece of shit.
What a relief.
But also, you can't make a sequel
How'd
to that
they
kind of
fail?
game, right? Like, the reason people love that game was its utter sincerity contrasted with the fact that it was awful. You can't have a sequel to that game without compromising one of those things.
I can't imagine what sort of punishment.
Has anyone played the Barkley demo? I'm kind of curious how that was.
My thoughts echo yours, sire. So what should be done with the girl?
Dispose of her as you please, is what he told me. Ha! The insult.
Was so that's the demo of the game before everyone abandoned it, right? It's not like what they've been working on since then.
Giacomo, was it? How dare he order me around? A mere soldier.
I know the writer was the writer is obviously who you want for that game, because the game is entirely about its writing. And he was on Katana Zero.
It seems the girl stole something from the Empire.
Which is a pretty good game.
Foolish waif. Did she truly believe she could get away with that? Against the Empire? Crossing the Emperor alone is asking for certain death. Heaven knows what treasure she was after.
Yet our visitors from the Empire didn't seem to have dug anything up from the forest, sire. If it wasn't for treasure, then why did they need to send in a scouting team?
What was the voice direction
What were
behind
they
this
up
guy?
to in Moonguile Forest? I do hope nothing terrible is about to happen. There are rumors about that forest, both ancient and ominous.
Like, this is absolutely the way I would play this, like this character, but I'm a bad voice actor.
You're referring to the old legends, are you? Something about an evil monster being held in by a seal? Nonsense. I don't care what the Empire is up to. I'm in no position to meddle. It would be wise of you to stay out of their way too. Unless you want to end up like that foolish girl.
Let me say this as evilly as possible in this conversation with just the two of us.
Where is she now?
We still have her locked up in the guest room. It seems she took quite a stomping from them.
You may dispose of her tomorrow. The sooner this is all behind us, the better.
As you wish, sire.
The Goldoba will be leaving shortly. They plan on leaving a small garrison of soldiers, but it won't be for long. Everything should be back to normal soon enough. All told, I figure things could have been much worse. It is almost time. Time to see the Goldoba off. What a pity they can't stay for tea.
So the Goldoba's leaving soon. We don't have much time. Okay, let's find Shella first. Giacomo will have to wait.
Giacomo
knows what they'll do to her unless we help her out. What are we waiting for? Let's get moving.
You're the one who's just standing here. I saw the new disaster report is coming out in America soon, which is hilarious. I actually super want to play that because I'm curious. Because it's the same disaster report that was supposed to come out in 2013, right? Just redone for the PS4. Because that game never came out because it was supposed to release the week of the tsunamis, and obviously it did not. I mean, what was the name of that developer again? It's slipping my mind. I want to call him Ines, but I know it's not it. Irem? They don't exist anymore. Like, they closed down after Disaster Report. They had to pull the copies back. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's Disaster Day of Crisis. That is a light gun Metal Gear game, which is great. I love Disaster Day of Crisis. It's not a good game, not at all, but it's fun. By the lights is the bumpy trot. Yeah, technically Atlas would still have that, right? Just Iron doesn't exist. So who's there to develop it? Aljimo. You can call him Al. Was it self-published in Japan then? So maybe, yeah, maybe it exists in some sort of limbo. Or maybe the new developers have it.
Time to party.
That's a weird thing that, like, never... Like, a studio the size of... Irem, or From Software self-publishing in America, is more or less unheard of. That'd be interesting to find out, like, what's happened to Irem's licenses. It'd be a thing that very few people would actually care about.
Sorry.
But it would be interesting. Finally, I can get 2 people back in this party. This sneeze that is not coming out is ruining me.
Sheila, are you alright?
Callus, is that you? You came for me.
Hold still while I untie you. How do you feel?
Terrible. Give me a moment, please. Mimai, you're here too. Thank you. Don't worry. I'll be fine. I'm much better now. Thank you so much for coming, Callus. You too, Mimai. Thank you for saving me.
Mine! Let me guess. The only reason you came with me was to save Sheila. Talk about a free ride. So, Sheila, what's the Empire up to? What's the deal with that shiny Magnus?
Let's talk about it later. First, we have to get it back from them. Will you help me? Thank you so much. Let's hurry.
Decisions.
We'll go.
Mimai,
That reminds me, I
what
gotta
about you?
transcribe that
Are you
Kawazu
gonna
interview
ride
from
with
E3
Callus?
about Romantic Saga. But no, Musk questions are great in Dragon Quest, especially 11, because like they find a way to. If you say no, which you should every time, they'll be like, someone will just kick you in the head or something like that. Like, oh, okay, yeah, say yes this time. It kind of pokes fun at the existence of it. Zelda was really weird about it, to the point where I don't really know why Zelda bothered to have questions to answer. I mean, obviously that's the original "But Thou Must."
Say cheeseburger!
Kiryu needs things spelled out for him a lot.
Is that all?
This battle has gone poorly so far.
Use this. Hope this helps.
Mighty sword, blow forth like the wind! Storm style! The storm!
This is way too long a battle against grunts.
Here! This'll help.
Finally, okay. I think I gotta beat whatever the next boss is and then quit. Which I imagine the next boss is fairly soon. That should do.
The way to the roof is just up ahead, I guess. If we can get past these statues.
Don't worry. I saw them trigger the lock when they brought me in. There was something sticking out around here.
They're just statues.
Here it is.
Like duck.
See? There's a switch near the belly of each statue. Pressing them at the same time should unlock the mechanism.
This must
Push him over.
Found it?
Yep. On 3.
1, 2, 3.
I wonder if they had like a thing.
Yes!
Oh no, I guess it was specifically so you couldn't come here with just Callus. You had to rescue Zella first.
Damn.
Ha! You two!
Something about that is funny. Like, got him right where we want him. Oh shit, everyone has wings.
So you came, did you?
Huh?
So it was you after all. I'm surprised to see you alive.
Jack, you don't know how long I've waited for this moment. This is for my grandfather, and for Fee. Going down, Giacomo.
Giacomo.
For good.
Gabbo, Gabbo, Gabbo! This game has a variety of music that I just did not remember. I'm gonna say it, I like Xenoblade X's soundtrack. I don't know that it necessarily fit, but Sawano was a good composer. Baten Kaitos' theme of revenge. Well, that could have been a lot better.
Mighty sword, roll forth like the wind.
I forget what changes Origins made to make this system a lot better, but I remember just the way it played. I think it was everyone shared one deck.
Is that all? You pissed.
Not totally necessary, but save me some trouble in the long run.
Here. This'll help.
You guys feeling good? Well, that was rough.
Is that all you got?
You'll be fine, Brenton. Nothing to worry about. Apparently the rain in Kansas City is like super bad right now. I'm just gonna spend the next turn healing, because apparently it gave me all my armor at once. This deck shuffling, not great. Oh, come on.
Is that all?
I just want to eat some bananas.
Here.
Here.
Is that all?
So they front-loaded healing items in the last turn, and this turn they shuffled all of them to the end. Yeah. Little bit of a southern accent coming out there for a bit. I could also go for a good banana.
Mighty sword, roll forth like the wind. Storm style. Blue storm.
Oh, good. I expected that to go on much longer.
That's enough for today.
Giacomo.
The Emperor is expecting me. I'm sure his worship is eager to see what I have obtained. The relic of a god long lost.
No! Get back here, Giacomo!
It's nice that we landed in this exact same place we started from. I especially like the guard over there that just,
Damn!
is just like, alright, completely non-phased by any of this. Unfazed. I think I was looking for the word nonplussed, but then I realized it doesn't mean what I think it means. It means confused, not apathetic.
Yeah.
Even though it sounds like it should mean apathetic. And he did nothing. He just watched us walk away. What was that anime that was like, it was mechs, but it was like knights? I'm going somewhere with this, but I can't remember the name of the anime. It had a girl, I think she was from modern times. Like the real world. Escafone, yes. Is the main character of that game the only woman in a Japanese created thing that runs like a runner? Like everyone else does this thing. But she actually runs
Phew. I guess we'll be safe here, at least for now.
I don't think I've ever actually watched a significant amount of Escaflowne. I think I watched it in an anime club.
Seems to be trying to revive an ancient cursed power.
Is that what you were talking about in the forest?
I should watch Devil May Cry Baby. I've heard good things.
Yes. Malpertio, malevolent god of old. They say his powers will cause the world's destruction.
Oh yeah, I remember the Fox Kids edit of Escaflowne. I remember hearing about it, I should say. Never watched it myself.
Have you ever heard of Malpertio?
No, not really.
I see.
I don't think anything aged well at this point.
Mintaka, the imperial capital.
My favorite anime of the late 90s is made by an admitted and convicted pedophile.
Dangerous scheme. I've been trying to find out what it is exactly. I managed to steal a pendant, which seems very important to them, and then I fled. From what I managed to gather, something terrible was sealed away, deep in that forest. It had never crossed my mind they were talking about Malpertio.
Yeah, the good guys in Fullmetal Alchemist are Nazis.
I need your assistance. I must uncover the Emperor's
Like,
plot.
the overall lesson is genocide is bad. But it gets justified quite a bit.
If the evil god Malpertio should be awakened, the world will be doomed. I can't do this alone. Please help me, Callus.
You're asking the wrong guy. The Empire's plans? The fate of the world? Couldn't care less. Be realistic here, Shella. You alone against the might of the Empire? How are you gonna pull that off?
I don't know.
You can't be serious. If you want someone to die a glorious death with you, look somewhere else. I won't be throwing my life away in a fight with the Empire. You can understand that, right? You've got to be kidding me! Maybe you're crazy enough to listen to her, but I'm not.
If we could warn Diadem and Anua and all the other nations of the Emperor's plot, I'm sure they would join us.
You really believe that? That the lords and kings will listen to you and take up arms against the Empire?
Fullmetal Alchemist is one of those things that, like... So I watched that dubbed because I think I was recovering from some stuff and, like, I didn't feel like sitting in front of watching with subtitles. But now I think about it and, what's his name? Uncle Rapey, the voice actor. I'm like, yeah, I don't associate these things well anymore.
That they would actually risk the well-being of their nations on the words of a little girl? Keep dreaming. Alone.
The dub was good. Just, yeah.
Well, you can do what you want. It's your life, so you should take your own path, Sheila. I have some unfinished business to take care of. By the way, if I were you, I'd leave this island as soon as possible. Chances are you've already earned yourself a spot on the Empire.
What happened to that Dragon Ball con he was supposed to go to? Did, like, everyone drop out? Did that con succeed?
Not just me. I'm sure you're right up there on the list too, Callus. Besides, that man you're after, Giacomo. He's from the Empire too, isn't he?
You've got it mixed up. The bone I have to pick is with Giacomo, not with the whole Empire. I'm not that stupid. Well, so long, Shella. Who knows? I might see you again. Sometime.
That had to be fun.
No, wait! You're leaving the island, right? The only way out is to take a liner to Diadem, the land of the clouds. We'll be taking the same ship, so we might as well stick together. At least for now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go save, and I'm gonna call it for the night because I'm tired. But thank you all for coming. I can't imagine that watching me play a JRPG is all that super interesting. But hopefully it was as fun for you guys as it was for me. Alright. I will probably stream more some other time, now that I don't have to go to LA every couple of days. Alright. Thanks to another streamer. Oh, I appreciate it. Alright. Alright. Thank you. Bye, guys.